This is my embedded Linux project. Today I'm going to show you how I can control my robotic servo arm with my Raspberry Pi embedded Linux board. A little bit about the board itself. I really liked using it. I thought it was really easy to use. It almost felt like I was using a PC, not really an embedded Linux device. It's got all sorts of great connections that make it real easy to use right out of the box. I've got onboard Ethernet, onboard USB, onboard HDMI, and RCA video. The power comes in on a simple micro USB connection, and the operating system and the files all live on this SD card. Basically what my project does is it contains an Apache web server that's used as the front end in order to control the robotic servo arm. My example here I have is the web components running on an Apple iPad. I wrote them all on HTML5. That way I could have flexibility in the type of mobile devices that would be supported. So this will run on iOS devices such as this iPad, as well as any type of Android phone or Android tablet, and including any PC or laptop running a browser which supports HTML5. Each one of the axes of motion on the robot is controlled by a slider bar. So for example, I can move this base axis of motion around. You can hear the motor moving on the robot simply by touching it and moving that particular slider bar left to right. Now I'm going to focus to the robot itself so we can see the motion in action. Our target today will be a 101 Dalmatians dog toy. So what I'm going to do is position the grippers right over the dog toy. So what we're going to do is get a nice home area right over the dog. I think we've got that right now. I'm going to close the hand, close the grippers. So now we have the dog in our grasp. Now we can move him all over using the robotic arm via the iPad interface. So we can move them across each one of the 5 degrees of motion supported by the robot. And one of my favorite things to do is once I have them in my grasp, I like to simply move them around a little bit and drop them on the ground. So in closing, I really felt like the Raspberry Pi board was easy to use. I plan on using it again. I felt it offered a lot of flexibility, especially at the cost point. I felt it was very economical for someone like a hobbyist to use in order to learn Linux. We've got a lot of great ideas moving forward for other projects. So stay tuned, and thanks for taking a look at my project.